Hey everybody, welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour. I'm your host, John the Bod, aka the Bod Father, with my lovely co-host,
Krystal.
And as always, we are bringing you guys awesome interviews, and today it is an honor and privilege to have from the band Erasing Never, the guitarist Mark Alexander, and plus the vocalist Dan Daugherty. We're going to be talking to those folks about their third full-length album, and this was released in 2015, but Mark has just recently joined them. But we'll still add Mark in here. We'll still rough him up a little bit. So
there we go.
Be talking about the life after and plus what's going on now. So, guys, welcome to the show, and how the hell's it going?
Oh, yeah,
Wonderful.
Thanks for having us.
Yes, sir. You guys recently came off of the Year of the Killers tour with Kissing Candace and A Killer's Confession, which is Waylon Revis's new band. How was that?
And Dead by Wednesday, they were badass, too. It was a blast. I do have to say real quick, because I get it all the fucking time, I'm not related to Chris Daugherty. It's pronounced Daugherty. I just got to throw that out there before we get started. Not related to that guy.
I wouldn't even think of that, but, you know.
But, yeah, that tour was great, and I definitely want to do another one with them. We got treated better than we've ever been treated on tour before on that one, and got paid, got fed. It was a blast. Mark and JP had a blast, too, playing with Waylon. Mark is a very welcome addition to the band as far as touring goes. He's a blast to hang out with, and I don't have to worry about any unneeded drama with Mark.
Right.
So he's definitely, I'm glad you're in the band, Mark, because I feel like we could be on the road for months at a time, and I wouldn't want to punch you in the face.
Hell yeah.
Well, that's always a plus.
It was smooth sailing. It really is about the best all around tour, as far as it being smooth sailing that I've done in a long time. I mean, there was no managers or anything like that. It was just the bands, and we just went and set up and did our thing, and it was pretty a lot of respect among each band. So
yeah,
I mean, anytime you play out of town, and I mean even in town for that matter, but the main goal is to get at least one new fan, and I definitely feel like we did that every single show at least. So it was definitely a success in my eyes.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
I don't want to take anything away from this interview or anything like that, but I'm going to throw this in here. That new album that Waylon Revis has out that I've got to listen to, a couple of tracks. Goodness gracious, man. That's one hell of an album from him.
I think he did a good job on it for the amount of time that he's had to put all this together. It's quite amazing how well it's come together within just a few months, really. Dan?
Definitely, and I feel like, I mean, you can hear the freedom he has now, you know? I mean, it's what he wanted to write about, how he wanted to sing it, and you can definitely tell.
Krystal, you want to add anything else on that one or no?
No.
Oh, my God.
Sorry.
That's okay. It's all right. So, Dan, what's impressed you the most about making the current album that's out, Life After? What's caught your eye about it, if anything, man?
I really like this album a lot. It's probably my favorite out of all three, but it's a little bit softer than our other two albums, which I think, shows that we're not a one-trick pony. Right. And I'm really excited to see what we come out with Mark, and we're currently searching for some new members. We might have a new guitarist here. We might have got that, but we still are looking for another bassist. But I'm excited to see. Writing is my favorite part. I love writing and recording. I mean, don't get me wrong, performing's amazing, but I'm just excited to see, because honestly, this band's gone through so many members. That's part of the reason why every single album sounds different. But I like that. It keeps it fresh. So when you're like, even this last tour we did, we played songs off every album, and it makes it more fun, when you're on stage you're not just playing soft songs. You're not just playing super fast, heavy songs. You're playing a mixture. So you can kind of get everybody in the crowd has at least something. We have something to offer those people.
That's right. That's one of the main things that stood out to me when I actually first listened to the Life After album, was that every song sounded different and it stood out. It wasn't just like one continuous, like hardcore song. I hate to categorize those guys, but their whole album sounds the same, a lot of them, but every song on Life After has its own power, and there's some slow stuff, some heavy stuff, some in-between stuff. There's even one song that sounds Southern. I like it.
Yeah, there's a Southern one. I definitely try to challenge myself vocally on this album because there's 2 tracks on this album that I sing the entire way through, which on the first 2 albums, there's not 1 track that I sing all the way through. So that was fun. And, you know, the lyrics are pretty personal on those, but, which is also, you know, fun as well. I like to tell stories. I like to write as characters. And then sometimes you got to write personal shit because music is therapy. And that's why I do this. You know, if I didn't get on stage and scream in people's faces, I'd be murdering people.
Oh, Lord. You're right, man. Music's therapy. You know, I've said that since day one. Everybody knows my story. My dad passed away a long time ago. Music got me through it. If it hadn't been for music, I would not be sitting here right now. And that is the God's honest truth. Yeah,
I agree with that, man. It's gotten me through every hardship I've ever encountered. I can't imagine life without it. I mean, how bad would life suck if there was no music? How bad would movies suck if there was no music, or video games, or any? Yeah. I mean, music's in a lot of different art, you know?
And every time Krystal tells me no, I listen to music. It helps me through the pain.
But I mean, it's not all, you know, it's not all down. I mean, a lot of my lyrics are, but at least some of the music kind of picks you up and puts a pep in your step.
How was working with Studio D in Cleveland?
Every album's been recorded in a different place. The album before Life After Accept Damage was recorded at Spider Studios. It's always a new experience when you work with a new producer and engineer. And I think that's kind of why we've gone 2 different places, because, you know, it's hard as the artist, you have something in your head, a vision in your head, and then you're trying to convey that to the producer. And no matter what, it's never going to sound exactly how you hear it in your head. Mm-hmm. So it's always a challenge, but I definitely feel like, me personally, I had more freedom on this album to say, I don't like that. I don't like what you're doing right there. I don't like that effect, or, you know, stuff like that. So I was able to lay down as many tracks as I wanted until I was comfortable, you know, that it sounded good enough. You know, there's still things I'm really not happy about on this album, but I think that comes with the territory, you know. And when you're a band at our level, that you have so much time to record this album, and then after that you're out of money, you know. So you can't really fix it at that point. But it was definitely more relaxing. We've definitely had worse experiences recording. I would recommend Studio D to other bands at our level, because I do think the quality is pretty damn good on that album. But I do think our next, I don't know if we'll be doing full lengths anymore going forward. I think we're just going to go the EP route.
Oh, really? Okay.
And singles here and there. Yeah. Okay. It just makes sense for us. It's so much money up front to make a full length, you know?
True. Yeah.
And that's why, you know, the first album came out in 2010, and then the next one 2012, and then 2015 for Life After, and now it's 2017. You know, it takes so much time to get enough money to go into the studio that I'd rather just do it come out with an EP a year or something like that. But I do think our next one I'd like to record somewhere else. We have a place in mind. Hopefully JP will uphold his part of the bargain.
This is for both of you. Any songs off the Life After album that stand out more to you than any on it, Dan? And I know, Mark, you get to play some of these now, but are there any songs that stand out more to both of you, possibly?
I kind of want to hear Mark's answer first on this one. I'm curious.
I guess one of the first songs that I was like, man, I've got this is the first one I'm learning is the first track, and that's All Hell. All Hell. They make fun of the way I say it.
I knew it.
All Hell.
He gets to introduce that song every time.
No, it's just a kick-ass song from start to finish. It's got a lot of drive to it.
I do like that track a lot. What I like about that compared to the rest of the album is I feel like that arrangement-wise, there's a lot going on, and it's not, you know, some of the songs there's verse, chorus, interlude, you know, or breakdown or whatever, but whereas All Hail, it's all over the place, you know, and you don't know what part it's going to go into next. So I do like that a lot about that track.
Yeah, the second verse to it is I think the second verse is played totally different than the first one is as far as guitar.
Right. Yeah, and I try to, you know, if the guitars are switching, I definitely don't want to sing the same thing I did before. But I don't know if I could pick a favorite. I know lyrically I'd probably have to say the song Mute, but I don't want anybody to listen to it because that's one of the problems I have with that album, one of the issues I had with the producer on that track. So I can't even listen to that one, but lyrically it is my favorite on the album. But I don't know. I'd probably say Differentiate is my favorite. It's the most therapeutic one to scream. It makes me feel a lot better after we're done performing that one.
I like that one too.
And probably Solitude, the southern one. That Solitude one's pretty, I like that because the chorus is singing and screaming at the same time. So anytime that happens, I enjoy that thoroughly. I like to mix it up.
How much growth musically do you feel like your band has been through since the very beginning?
Well, that's a double-edged sword because, like I said, we've gone through a lot of member changes. Brian and myself are the only original members from 2008. I know, I personally think we've gotten better, the both of us. Brian, for sure, as far as writing, his drum parts are, he's insanely talented, and his drum parts are, he varies it more now, I guess. Like, before it would just be, the drum beat, and he'd vary like one thing here and there, but now it's every part, and it's still a cohesive unit, but every part is, you can tell he put a lot of thought into what he wanted to play for that part. And he's challenging himself constantly. I mean, there's songs he hates playing because they're really difficult, or, you know what I'm saying, odd timing or something like that. So he definitely challenged himself. So I for sure think he's grown, and I can't wait to hear what he writes to the new stuff we're going to be putting out. But I know personally I try to always get better. I think every single musician, if they're worth anything, continues to improve themselves, because you should never be satisfied with where you're at. If you are, then just quit, because you're wrong.
Agreed.
But I think I did stuff on the Life After album that I never could have dreamed of doing on the first album. And especially like with switching back between singing and screaming, that's something that's really difficult. And I feel like I've gotten better at that throughout the years. And as far as, just range and notes I can hit now, I never could have hit before.
Does that take a toll on your vocals, though, doing that?
Oh, yeah, definitely. But with, like, that last tour we went on, we only had half-hour sets, so that's fine. Half-hour sets, no big deal. But if we were playing hour and a half every night, like a headlining tour or something like that, my throat would definitely be hurting.
Yeah, for sure.
But when you're on the road, I love playing on the road because you're training yourself, you're practicing every single night, literally, so it becomes a lot easier than when you're on the road. Like, by the end of that tour, I didn't even have to think about some of the stuff I was doing because it just came naturally. Whereas if you go a few months between playing a show, or even a month, and you try to hit that note, it's going to be a lot harder than it would be if you were doing it every single night.
All right, now this is for both of you guys. And I know Mark's in a different band and everything, but what helps both of you, or what do you do to help keep your mind fresh and open to new, lyrics that you've not done before? I mean, you're not inventing the wheel, Dan, and especially for you, Mark, like different guitar riffs, solo stuff like that. So I'm going to use this for Inviolate, or I'm going to use this for Erasing Never. What helps both of you guys to do this?
I've got some stuff that I've worked on that I was going to pitch to the guys later on for the new album, the new recording, whatever. And I tried to kind of make it sound like it would have been an Erasing Never song off of Life After, but with my twist on it. So I kind of combined both visions of it, and hopefully it'll turn into something unique that sounds new but different. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear it.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
I'm sure a lot of people would probably say, listen to different music that you normally wouldn't listen to get ideas. Or, you definitely get inspired by stuff, whether it be writing lyrics or writing melodies. But personally, I don't listen to a lot of new music, be it because I just don't know about it. I like to listen to what I know I like. But as far as how I try to, the way we've been writing lately, when we first started, I would have stuff written and then I'd try to fit it to a song that they had written. But now I feel like it is a lot better, and I produce a better product if they provide the song to me and then I listen to it on repeat for days and get a feeling for the song, like what that song makes me feel. And then that's how I start writing the lyrics to it. And all my melodies I write on piano first. It just helps me. And I feel like I can come up with stuff that I wouldn't come up with if I was just listening to the song and coming up with something off the top of my head. I can just come up with something crazy on piano and then see if I can sing it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, I take every song differently. It's just what it makes me think about, and then I'll start writing about that.
I've had some people say they don't even listen to music at all, period. Radio, nothing. It makes sense.
Honestly, I listen to podcasts all the time. That's all I do at work. If I listen to music at work, it affects my mood too much. So if I listen to sad shit, I'll be all depressed at work, or if I listen to something heavy, I'll get angry and want to scream at people.
Do you need to listen to my wrestling
I just got to listen to
and...
funny podcasts to cheer me up.
Yeah, you need to start listening to my shows then. I'll cheer you up.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah. You know, like another thing that I've done with one song off of the Set the Damage album. It's called Judge and Jury. Like, there's a few guitar parts in that where I got the tab for it, and when you listen to it, it's totally wrong. It does not sound right. So I just kind of took what I heard and made up like a total different ending for it. But it sounds close, but it's not the way it was originally played, and it's just, I think it sounds better. It sounds right. Anyway.
Which we're totally fine with if there's any bassists listening that are interested in trying out for the band. We are totally all right with parts getting rewritten or, you know, stuff like that. Like I can't wait to hear how Mark's playing Judge and Jury, because it might even make me change my part. We're cool with that, you know.
Yeah.
It's
pretty damn close, but the last of it's just a little bit different.
This is the $1 million question right here, and Krystal gets to ask this one. Go ahead.
All right.
How do you feel like your dynamic has changed since adding Mark?
Oh
man.
Dynamic as far as
as
far as our relationship with everybody, I think he's helped out everybody in the band just become, you got to take it seriously. We do take being in the band very, very seriously. This is our dream. We one day want to make a living off of touring and not have to have day jobs. So it is important to take it seriously, but at the same time, you can take it too seriously to where it's not fun anymore and it's just another job. And I definitely think Mark helped with that. Like he cracks us up. He's fucking hilarious. And whenever it does start to get heated, he can lighten it, to where it doesn't keep getting out of control. It just calms everything down. So as far as our relationships, like in communication, I definitely think he's changed the dynamic for the better in the band. Musically, it's hard to say just because we haven't written anything new with Mark yet, but I'm definitely looking forward to it. But I can't really speak to that as of right now. Stage-wise, he's changed the dynamic because I feel really comfortable with Mark, and I don't, it's hard to say, like, we've had members in the past where I'm constantly worried about where they're at or keeping the corner of my eye on them, to see what they're doing and make sure they're not doing anything stupid. And with Mark, I don't need to worry about that, even though he does shit stupid sometimes. It cracks me up, and I love it. Like those pictures, those pictures of you licking the flame light, were hilarious. They were cracking me up. Those are the best pictures ever.
The main stupid stuff I do is when I get off stage.
At least
get alcohol in me.
At least you're not like climbing and jumping out in the crowd in the middle of a song. Going, what the hell's he doing? What's he climbing that for?
That's right.
He will come out into the crowd, though. He'll come out and keep playing.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
Dan does that.
I do that a lot. Oh, yeah. That show in East Ohio, I went out and made everybody turn around and look at me. I was singing from the back of the building just because I was getting a little angry because nobody would come to the front of the stage.
That's right.
Dan,
awesome.
What do you hope the fans or anybody that listens to your albums take away from it once they start to listen to them, man? What do you hope that they get from it?
Honestly, that, like you said, man, music helps you get through shit, Music's been my therapy ever since I knew this was what I wanted to do, and it changed my life. I just hope I can help somebody else out, I want people to know that they're not alone, and, other people have had the same feelings and the same thoughts they have. And, hopefully it helps them, not feel so isolated, and hopefully it connects people, you know, if two people are fans of the same band, you know, that's an immediate friendship could spark from that, you know, a brotherhood. So I definitely feel like the majority of our fans are all friends with each other. So that's amazing to me, you know, and I definitely want to encourage that and want that to get bigger. But yeah, I just want to help people. That's the main goal for me is, I mean, yes, it's therapy and I enjoy it and it's fun. It is a lot of hard work and a lot of time, but it's worth it. Like on that last tour, you know, I had 2 separate people come up to me and tell me how mute, you know, once they figured out what the lyrics were, they, you know, listened to it all the time and it helped them feel a lot better about somebody they lost. And, you know, that's the best feeling in the world is when somebody compliments your lyrics like this helped me, you know, this helped me get through a rough track in my life, a rough part of my life. And that's the main goal I have is just, I want to help people feel better because life fucking sucks.
It does.
So any pleasure you can obtain, you know, whatever it be, as long as you're not hurting somebody else, you know.
Yeah.
If you're in a good mood, you're going to be nicer to other people and, you know.
Very true.
What are you guys working on currently, and what kind of plans do you have for the upcoming year?
Well, you know, we definitely do want to do another tour. Yeah, we might have a new guitarist, so right now we're going to be working with him on getting him up to speed and learning the songs and the backup vocals and stuff like that, and we're still searching for a bassist. You know, we're picky motherfuckers, though. You know, we're not going to just let anybody join the band. Like I said, we do take it seriously.
We've got JP so far.
What'd you say?
I said we've got JP so far on bass.
Yeah, he's helping us out still, and he, you know, he's being super cool about the whole situation and saying he'll continue to help us out with whoever we get and teach them stuff and work with them. So that's definitely a huge benefit. But that's the main thing I want to do. I want to get new music out there. I hate that we have so much time in between new albums, but at the same time, we need these new members to learn the old shit because the diehard fans want to hear the old shit. So I want to be able to play any song somebody requests from us, you know? But yeah, so the main focus right now is getting a solid lineup, learning all the old shit and writing new shit and recording it.
And I really can't say anything that Dan didn't already hit on. That's the main goal is to have 5 really solid members. And I think we're supposed to do some more of the Year of the Killers tour whenever it comes around, about another 2 weeks. I know they got held back on some dates here in April and May, but we're supposed to head out on it again sometime here in the near future for a few weeks. I don't know.
Yeah, we do. We are also, we're trying to sell out of all of our old merch so we can get, you know, new merch with the next recording and push that stuff. So we are trying to sell old merch and prices keep dropping. So make sure you check out our website, racingnever.com, to buy some merchandise. Free wristband with every purchase.
That's it.
And a hug from me.
And tobacco pipes. We have tobacco pipes, Dan.
I don't know anything about that.
Tobacco pipes.
When folks come to see you guys live, what are they going to get from you guys at a show?
A damn ass kicking. That's what they're going to get.
A damn ass kicking.
A damn ass kicking.
I will say we definitely are one of those bands, which every band on the Year of the Killers tour was like this, but we're one of those bands that will hang out with you and talk to you, and, you know, we're down to hang out and party every night, and we're not one of those bands that's going to hide in the green room all night and then run up on stage and run back to the green room. We're going to be interacting with our fans and hopefully put on a hell of a show for them. You can expect no backing tracks because we don't use backing tracks. We don't believe in that. So it might not sound exactly how it sounds on the album, but it's going to be, every single show is going to be different. And if you miss one, you might miss out.
Yeah, to me, like when a band plays live, that is them in their rawest form. And, you know, it's got to be on for the most part. And you don't need that backing shit. I mean, people notice that shit. And when you're harmonizing with yourself, that is not live.
Right.
To me, it's not. I don't like it. But, you know, some people do. So to each his own, I guess.
Yeah, a lot of people do like that. But to me, I mean, it looks awesome when people are going ape shit on stage, but at the same time, if you're a musician and you're watching a band on stage and you notice something's not right, it's hard to enjoy the show as much as you were, you know? As soon as you realize, I feel like I'm being duped, you know? Something's fake, something's not right.
Yeah.
So it kind of ticks me off a little bit, you know, because I paid to see this band perform live. I didn't pay to hear the CD played.
You never heard Pantera do a backing track, did you?
No.
All right, then.
No.
All right.
Do your feel impression, Krystal. We didn't do no backing track shit.
Yeah, come on, Krystal, do it.
Do it.
Do it.
You just fucking feel it, Shomo.
We didn't do no backing track shit.
That's it.
You're welcome, Mark. That's like the second time you've gotten here.
I love it.
I think it's funnier than
I
hell.
love it. We just got through playing with Steel and Superjoint. That was awesome.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that was an amazing show.
And then he just
It was
played,
cool because Brian knows him well, and I've gotten to hang out with him a few times, and, you know, he's shared some very inspiring words to me and, you know, told me never quit, never give up, and keep doing what I'm doing, and to tell him, yeah, I will, you know, to his face, but then to get to show him, hey, we're opening up for you. I didn't quit. Remember that? So that was an amazing show.
Hell yeah.
But that was also a fantastic impression, Krystal. It was spot on.
Thank you.
Phil's an awesome guy, man. I know Phil pretty well too. I like him. He's down to earth guy. I don't care what anybody fucking says about him. You don't know the guy. I mean, you know.
Exactly.
He's just a hell of a guy, truthfully.
I mean, man, he does a lot for like independent art in general. I mean, he's into everything, like as far as horror and, you know, metal and sports. I mean, shit.
I'm surprised he's not even put out a punk album yet.
I know, man. He needs to. He could do it.
Oh, I guarantee he could. Bill Anselmo kicks your ass in country.
That's right.
Oh, God, I hope that never happens. I would have to listen to it, but I really hope that never happens.
What do you guys think about the digital era that we're in with music, like Spotify, YouTube, Pandora, all that shit?
It's horse shit. I hate it. Honestly, it's ruined the industry. I would have never gone to college for music had I known that this is what it was going to be, you know? Napster ruined everything. It's, you know, everybody was hating on Lars and Metallica when Napster came out when they sued them, but they were fucking right. And if they would have won, we'd be living in a completely different world right now.
Probably would have.
It's sad, man. Nobody wants to pay for shit anymore. They expect it for free. And when you're in a band at our level and you're not putting anything in your fucking pocket and you're taking everything out of your pocket to get the band to another level, and somebody wants something for free, it ain't fucking happening, you know?
That's right.
So it sucks. It's killed the local scene. I mean, people say it's people's attitudes and the whole competitiveness, and where do you think that all stemmed from? People are competitive because it's impossible to fucking make any money doing this anymore. Yeah, it's really, really difficult. You got to know people or have a name already. It's sad. I wish people still cared about. I remember going and getting albums and, you know, reading through all the lyrics and looking at every single picture and just staring at it while I'm listening to them. And people don't do that anymore. People don't even listen to albums all the way through anymore. They just want to hear the song they like, and that's it, you know?
I remember going to the
CD. And I definitely think.
I remember.
What were you saying?
I didn't mean to cut you off there, Dan.
No, you're fine.
I remember going to, like, the CD release days at like, you know, record stores and stuff, and buying the album that day when it came out. You know, it's like, oh, gotta go, Dave.
Waiting in line.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure. Yep.
I've done that.
It's sad. I really hate it.
I do not own like an MP3 player or anything. I always buy the CD and I play it in my truck.
Mark's got the 8-track still.
Any digital music. So I don't have an iPod, nothing like that. It's all on a disc. Because
they say
in
like
the real world with me.
Yeah, totally. They say now, you know, with the digital age, that it's easier to find bands or it's easier to record, and yeah, the costs might have gone down than what they used to be. But I was at fucking Rock Hall yesterday, and Sun Studios started by buying a $500 piece of recording equipment. You couldn't fucking do that these days.
No.
You know?
No.
Yeah.
It's maybe mommy and daddy are paying for it. It's cheap, but to me, recording equipment is still insanely fucking expensive. It's still super expensive to record, to put out a quality music video. It's insane. So when you're not making any money because everybody can just get the music for free online, you're never going to be able to put out what you really want to put out for your fans anymore, unless you're at a super high level. It's really killed the music industry, in my opinion, is the digital age.
Mark went down and stood in line to get the 8-track.
Hell yeah, I'll have a 8-track.
That's what we need to put the next EP on. 8-track, force everybody to buy that shit again.
Damn right.
When 3 Quarters Dead did their last album, we did it with Jamie King out of Winston-Salem. You know, he did Between the Berry and Me and all that. And you know, he's his career. You know, he is a recording engineer. I mean, he does it every day, so he's got everything up to date, state of the art. And he told me that he had $30,000 in plugins alone for that damn program, for the Pro Tools program. That's just plugins. That's just like noises and like emulators and stuff like that. That doesn't count the actual other software and the hardware and everything.
Screw that.
I bet he's got $500,000 and stuff.
That's ridiculous.
And that's just in like 2 rooms in the basement of his house.
And that's part of the problem. Like,
yeah,
if we weren't in this age, backing tracks wouldn't even be something to talk about because it wouldn't be an option, you know?
That's right.
And people that can sound amazing on an album and then you go see them live and they suck ass, like, that wouldn't be happening back in the day, you know? Back in the day, you had to play the whole song all the way through, you know?
Yeah.
Or there was no auto-tune, or, you know, like, it's now the music market is flooded with people that don't deserve to be there, to be blunt. They have no talent, and they're just distracting people from the really talented musicians because they have more money for marketing or whatever the case may be. They're really good at social media, or I don't know. The whole digital age sucks.
Well, here's another thing too.
I wish we were a band like 30 years ago.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Hell yeah.
You know, here's another thing too. People don't realize. When it's back in the day and you were using 2-inch tape, you had to be damn good at your track of what you're doing, you know, guitar, vocals, because when they had to cut and stop, they cut the tape. People don't realize that. They cut the tape and splice it together. So there was no retaking. If you retaked it, you had to do the whole thing over again.
Hell yeah. God almighty. I will say that I guess the digital age has made recording much easier.
True.
But it's paved the way for people who, you know, kind of want to half-ass stuff too. I mean, some don't, some do. But as far as the process of it is much easier to record with a Pro Tools rig than like ADAT and stuff like that.
Rather than analog. I agree with that, but at the same time, I'd rather go through the fucking struggle if it meant that only talented people were recording.
So would you guys do it yourself that way? Would you guys do it that way, possibly, if you had the chance?
Yeah, I could do it.
I mean, if we had the chance, are you talking about analog or just doing everything ourselves?
No, yeah, just do it yourself. Just record it yourself. Don't have to worry about a producer. Do it DIY. DIY.
I totally would. I would love to do that. I would love to produce everything we have coming out for the rest of the history of this band. I would love to do that, but we don't have the equipment, and these days you have to tour. You have to be out there constantly playing to build that fan base and build the buzz, and you have to constantly be on social media. Like, we don't have money to be throwing at equipment right now. You know, if we ever get to that point, I definitely would love to invest in that and get our own studio and just do everything ourselves, but we're just not at that point yet. But yeah, to answer your question, I would definitely do that. I'd be all about that.
Yeah, I would too. Sure.
Oh, you would hate it, Mark. I would be such a fucking slave driver. Record it again, Mark.
You damn ass outside. You sit your damn ass
outside.
Catch me outside. How about that? So, in your own opinions, both of you guys, what does Erasing Never bring to the table for music that's not out there right now?
Go ahead, Mark.
We definitely don't. I think it doesn't really. I can't really say what it sounds like because it's not really like the whole progressive hardcore genre that every band seems to sound like now. It's definitely not that. I mean, it's heavy, but to me, like, heavy it's like a slow heavy has more punch to it than just wide fucking open. That's just me. If it doesn't have that groove to it, it's just noise, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like genres. You know, I hate putting bands in, you know, oh, this is, you know, thrash metal, this is speed metal, this is death metal, black metal. It's all metal to me. You know, it's all different. Everybody has something to offer. If a listener listened to our entire catalog, there would at least be one track in there that they could appreciate. And I definitely love that about us. You really can't nail us down to one genre, because as soon as you do, the next track is going to be something completely different.
That's right.
So I definitely like that about us. I definitely think compared to some other bands, we can do stuff that, not that they can't, just that they won't, because some bands like having a signature sound, and, you know, it's comfortable to write that way because you know what you're supposed to do. Whereas I feel like we're like, we have too many songs with that arrangement or in that tuning, or, you know, so we try to switch it up constantly. And I like that about us a lot. As far as sound though, I don't know if I'm sure there's bands out there that could sound like us, or I'm sure people would say we sound like other bands and are ripping off other bands, but I know for a fact we are genuine people and we are in this for the right reasons. So I definitely think we bring that to the table, that we're not bullshitters. We are a do-it-yourself band, and we're doing as well as we can that way without anybody's help. And so far I think we've been doing well alone, you know?
That's right.
I've gotten to ask Mark this already, but Dan, what made you want to become a musician?
I guess, you know, when you hear a song, and I don't know, maybe other people don't experience this, but certain songs will give me goosebumps, or certain parts, you know, the climax of songs will give me goosebumps and just give me the best feeling in the world. Like I could fucking run through a brick wall, you know, make me feel invincible. And I wanted to give that feeling to somebody else. I wanted to feel how it would feel to be doing that, to be the one providing that feeling to somebody else. And just, it's fucking badass. Like it's fucking awesome to put your emotions into a sound, you know, into a riff, or into a vocal melody, or into your lyrics, or, you know, music is emotion, you know, and when somebody has too many emotions, sometimes you got to be a musician. What was Mark's answer? I'm curious. Why'd you become a musician, Mark?
Get chicks.
Well, I mean, I just said, I've always been intrigued by music ever since I was very small. Like I remember my dad and I sitting in my bedroom. They had got me a stereo for Christmas, and me and him would just sit and listen to the radio. I remember Billy Idol came on, and I loved it. I can't remember what song it was, but
hell yeah,
that's some of the first music I remember listening to. And my mom and dad used to watch Entertainment Tonight a lot, and I was a horror fan before I was a music fan. But I remember they showed the video for Bark at the Moon, Ozzy's Bark at the Moon. You know, it had him in the whole werewolf get up and everything, and I was like, wow, I mean, this is incredible. You know, this music video is blowing my mind. And it just kind of spurned from that. And the first metal music I really liked was Ozzy and Black Sabbath. And then I was listening to Kiss, and I was intrigued by the whole theatric style. You know, it's alluring, and the whole lifestyle, and I just kind of rolled with it from there.
Yeah, it's the best feeling in the world to have people, to be on stage and have people cheer for you. You know, I don't know about you, Mark, but there's nothing better. Nothing compares.
Like playing live. I mean, I'm not sure what every drug in the world feels like or anything, but there's no way it could compare to playing live. No way.
I knew when I sang at a talent show in 8th grade and I threw my coat off and the girls screamed, I was like, yep, I'm doing this the rest of my life.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. If you did that now on stage, I would scream.
Shit, I do it almost every show. I don't hear you screaming.
I'm going to throw my underwear at you.
Oh, my God.
Your bra. You're going to fling your bra at me.
That's right, my training bra.
I will definitely...
see, that's what I'm talking about. That's why I love having this dude in the band.
Once you guys have some stuff out, some new stuff, send it my way. I will definitely play the hell out of it on the show, for sure. And I'll put it in rotation, too, on New City Radio's network, too, and start playing the hell out of it as well. So anything you want to send over to me, I'll put it on here.
We'll have to send you the old shit, too. In the meantime, we'll have to send you some of that shit, too. But
that's fine.
I appreciate it, man. We definitely will.
That is no problem. So
definitely send me your email address again, and or if Dan wants to do it, they'll send you the whole damn catalog if you want to play it.
Yeah, I'll send it to either one of you, Mark. I'll send it to you, Mark, or I don't think I got Dan on Facebook yet, but I will.
Cool.
How can folks, again, I know you mentioned it earlier, but how can folks stay in touch with you guys, keep up with what you're doing, and buy some merch from you guys?
RacingNever.com for now is the main place to go. We're on Facebook. Search for us on there. YouTube, Spotify, Amazon, Google, iTunes. RacingNever.BigCartel.com is how you buy our merch, but there is a link on every other site to get to it. But yeah, I mean, just stay tuned, people. We are not going anywhere, and we're going to come back with a vengeance.
Krystal, you want to add anything?
Oh, yeah. I hope that you guys find a fucking awesome bass player, and I hope that you guys come to my town and play so that we can hang out and all be moonshine.
For sure.
We will. We want to hit it everywhere.
Krystal lives in Beckley, Dan, at Munchies.
Yeah, she's a Munchies
really?
Regular.
Yeah, I live at Munchies.
Shit, where were you? Where were you? We played there.
Yeah, Krystal, where were you?
I'm sorry. I don't know.
I do
James
like that place. I definitely want to go back.
Perkins was there.
That's funny. I'll take that, Krystal.
Yeah, but Munchies is a cool venue. I've played there about 3 or 4 times now, and it's never.
Dude, you're a
never
star. You're on
time.
the wall there.
Uh-oh.
I am. Yes, I am on the wall.
Before I let you
I had
guys...
to cover it up with our merch.
That's right. Build that wall.
Oh, God, here we go.
Oh,
That
God.
venue is awesome, though. I definitely want to go back to that venue for sure.
He's on the wall, but it might not be his picture on the wall. Oh.
If you guys need anybody to sling merch for you, if you come down here, I'm totally open to doing that.
Okay, sweet, because we will take advantage of that for sure.
Okay.
Before I let you guys go, when you want to do a promo for the show, or both of you guys, whatever you guys want to do.
Okay. What's up? This is Mark from Racing Never, and you're listening to the BODS Mayhem Hour. Crank it up.
Everybody stick around. We got some great music coming up, and you only hear these interviews right here on BODS Mayhem Hour and Uber City Radio from my lovely co-host,
Krystal.
Shrooms. We'll see you next week, guys and gals. Thank you all for being on the show.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah, thank you, man.